Assalamualaikum and welcome to Cambridge Chemistry channel with Sarwat Ahmed. I will be solving question paper 1 and multiple choice question 1 to 5070 from May June 2020. Let's start. Question number 1. The diagram shows 4 pieces of apparatus that are used to measure the volume of gas or a liquid. Which piece of apparatus should always be filled to the same level? Pipette is used to fill this liquid to the same level. So the best option is D, because measuring cylinder, gas syringe and bullets are used to fill the volume of the liquid or gas not at the same level. So pipette is the right answer. Aqueous sodium thiosulfate reacts with acid to make precipitates of sulfur. A student investigates the effect of temperature on the rate of this reaction. Effect of temperature on the rate of reaction. Increasing temperature, increasing the rate of reaction. The student a piece of paper with a cross on it below the reaction mixture as shown in the diagram. Measure the time taken for the cross to no longer be seen. Repeat the reaction at the different temperatures. Which apparatus is needed for this investigation? Stop clock, pipette, no. Balance, no. Thermometer, stop clock, valence. Thermometer, gas syringe, burette. Thermometer, stop clock and measuring cylinder. These 3 pieces of apparatus are used for this experiment. So D option is correct. A paper chromatography experiment is carried out to find an RF value of iron 3 ions. The result is shown. To make the spot containing iron 3 ions more visible, the paper is sprayed with aqueous sodium hydroxide so that a precipitate of iron 3 hydroxide forms. Under the conditions of the experiment, the RF of Fe3 ion is given by the RF is equal to distance travelled by the x by x divided by distance travelled by the y. So this is the distance travelled by the solvent is y and distance travelled by the solute is x. So this is the x over y. RF is equal to x over y. The gap is given by x over y and the color of the precipitate is red brown. So x over y, A option is correct. The diagram shows 2 experiments. Experiment 1, aluminum 3. Add a few drops of sodium hydroxide. Add an excess of sodium hydroxide. Precipitate formed, precipitate dissolves. Pipette dissolves. Copper ions, precipitate formed. For copper ions, precipitate remain insoluble. What are the results of adding an excess of sodium hydroxide in each experiment? Experiment 1, precipitate dissolves. and experiment 2 precipitate not dissolves. B. Experiment 1 precipitate dissolves and experiment 2 precipitates not dissolves. Precipitate remains. Precipitate remains. This is not correct. Precipitate remains. Precipitate dissolves, not correct. Precipitate dissolves, not correct. Precipitate remains, correct. Precipitate remains, correct. Precipitate remains, correct. C option is correct. For experiment 1 precipitate dissolves and experiment 2 precipitate remains. So C is correct option. Which methods of separation require a change of state from liquid to gas? Change of state from liquid to gas. Paper chromatography not liquid to gas. Crystallization, yes. Crystallization, evaporation is a stage at which the water is going to evaporate. Water changes into gaseous state. Distillation, yes, this is also correct. Filtration not correct. C option is correct. Question number 6. Hydrogen sulfide and hydrogen chloride are both gases at room temperature, at temperature above minus 50 degrees centigrade. H2S, which gas will diffuse most rapidly at the temperature? The gas with lower MR, diffuses most quickly. H2S is 2 plus 32 is equal to 34, and HCl is 1 plus 35.5 is equal to 36.5. So H2S most quickly, and the second factor is the temperature. Higher the temperature, higher the rate of diffusion. Higher the rate of diffusion. So H2S is the gas, and higher the temperature. So this is minus 50 degrees centigrade, so minus 20 degrees centigrade is the highest temperature. So D is the correct option. Hydrogen sulfide and minus 20 degrees centigrade is the higher temperature. Question number 7. The diagram shows the relative mass and relative charge of two particles, oxygen and not oxygen, unshaded circle and shaded circle present in the atoms. Which of these particles are present in a hydrogen atom and in hydrogen ion? So the relative mass is this is neutron, but this is the 2000 mass, which is not possible for neutron present in the not neutron, as mass is higher, so not present in hydrogen atom and hydrogen ion. because neutron is absent in hydrogen atom and hydrogen ion. So not in hydrogen atom nor in hydrogen ion. So this particle is absent. This is electron. This is because its charge is negative. So this will be electron. This is electron which is present in hydrogen atom but not absent in hydrogen ion. So which of these particles are present in a hydrogen atom and in hydrogen ion? In hydrogen atom, both unshaded and shaded, this is not correct. Both unshaded and this is also not correct. Both unshaded not present, this is present, this is incorrect. In hydrogen atom, electron is present but not neutron. So this is neither neutron and nor electron. So this must be correct option. Not O. So C is the correct option. Question number 8. Which ion has the most shells that contain electrons? Aluminium has 2 into 2 to 7, because in aluminum atom 2, 8, and 3, and in aluminum ion 2 and 8, beryllium 2 and 2, and beryllium ion 2, 2 and 5 atom, and 2 and 8 ion. 2 is the ion and 2 and 6 is the atom. So D must be correct one. Which substances conduct electricity both when solid and when molten? Alloy conduct electricity when solid and molten. This must be correct. Hydrocarbon is covalent molecule. Metal oxide solid, molten conduct but cannot conduct in solid state. Salt also. So this is incorrect. Question number 10. When they react together, which pair of elements form an ionic compound? Carbon and hydrogen, no, because both are non-metal. Hydrogen and chlorine, not, because both are non-metals. Lithium and oxygen is the correct option because lithium is metal and oxygen is non-metal. Question number 11. How many shared electrons are in one carbon dioxide molecule? This is the carbon dioxide molecule. How many shared electrons are in one carbon dioxide molecule? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C is the best option. Element X has a lattice of positive ions and a sea of electron. Which property will X have? It conducts electricity by the movement of ions. This is incorrect. It has a high melting. This is correct option. So B is the correct option. It decomposes, not decompose. It is not malleable. It is also incorrect. It is malleable. Question number 13. Which row shows the correct state symbols for the reaction between calcium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid? Calcium carbonate is solid, aqueous. This is aqueous, liquid and gas. Solid, aqueous, liquid and gas. D option is correct. Question number 14. The expression shown for the value of AR for the fluorine is incomplete. Average mass of one atom. This is one atom and divided by 1/12 of the mass of one atom of C612. So this is atom and 1/12. B is correct option. Question number 15. A mixture of 5 centimeter cube of CH4 and 100 centimeter cube of air is exploded. Assume air is 80% nitrogen by volume and 20% by oxygen by volume. The resulting mixture is cooled. All volumes are measured at room temperature and pressure. CH4, we know that mole is directly proportional to volume of gas. If 1 mole of CH4, this is equal to 5 centimeter cube volume. So if 1 mole, then what would be the volume of 2 mole? 2 mole ratio X, so 2 5s are 10, so 10 mole of 10 volume of oxygen, and 1 ratio 1, that is 1 mole, and this is equal to 5 centimeter cube. So what is the composition of the reacting gases? 5 centimeter cube of carbon dioxide, 10 centimeter of cube of oxygen, 80 centimeter cube of nitrogen and 10 centimeter cube of steam, because water is in the form of liquid. 5 centimeter cube of carbon dioxide, 10 centimeter cube of oxygen, 80 centimeter cube of nitrogen and 10 centimeter cube of steam is not correct. So B is the correct option. Which arrangement is used to electroplate copper into a steel key? Steel key must be cathode, copper must be anode, and electrolyte is the copper salt. Electrolyte is copper 2 aqueous salts, so this must be correct. Piece of copper must be anode, yes, and steel key must be cathode. A option is correct. The chloride of metal, question number 17, the chloride of metal X is dissolved in water. Inert electrode, concentrated solution of chloride is electrolyte, choosing electrode. Inert electrode, concentrated aqueous solution of X of chloride of metal X. X is above sodium in the reactivity series. In addition to chlorine, which gas is liberated and the X is above sodium? So in addition to chlorine, which gas is liberated and at which electrode? Hydrogen gas, if it is present above than X. So hydrogen, and it is at cathode. Question number 18. Which change in conditions for the reaction between zinc and dilute sulfuric acid increases the rate of reaction by lowering the activation energy? So this must be catalyst. So adding catalyst, A option is correct. Question number 19. Many reactions can be classified into redox reactions. Which equations show redox reaction? This must be redox 0 plus 2, oxidation state is increased and magnesium is oxidized. This is also redox reaction 0, over here minus, iron carrying 2 plus, over here 3 plus. So this must be redox sodium 0 plus 0 minus. So this must be redox. A option is correct option. Question number 20. Which row correctly shows whether the hydrogen ion concentration and hydrogen and the pH of ethanoic acid are higher or lower than those of hydrochloric acid of the same concentration? HCl pH is 1, ethanoic acid pH is 3. So pH is higher, and concentration, because it is weak acid, it is strong acid, concentration of hydrogen is higher, lower. So the pH is higher over here and concentration of hydrogen ion. So it is C, concentration of hydrogen ion, pH of ethanoic acid are higher than the hydrochloric acid of the same concentration. So this is C, concentration of hydrogen is lower and pH is higher. So this must be correct. Higher and higher, higher and lower. Concentration of hydrogen is ion is lower and pH is higher. Question number 21. Which aqueous reagent liberates ammonium from ammonium nitrate on warming? Any alkaline solution react with any ammonium salts gives ammonia gas. So calcium nitrate is not correct. Potassium hydroxide correct, because KOH when react with ammonium nitrate to form KNO3 plus ammonia plus water. So B is correct option. Two fertilizers are made by mixing chemical compounds. Fertilizers X contain 500 gram of ammonium nitrate and 500 gram of ammonium sulfate per kg. Fertilizers Y contain 700 gram ammonium nitrate and 300 gram of calcium sulfate per kg. Which fertilizers contain the higher percentage of nitrogen by mass and which contain the higher percentage of sulfur by mass? So by calculating in X, this is X which contain ammonium nitrate and ammonium sulfate. Ammonium nitrate by calculating 2 nitrogen atoms, so that is 28 divided by mR of ammonium nitrate is 80 into 500. This will contain, ammonium nitrate contain 175 gram of nitrogen, while ammonium sulfate contain 28 over 32. It is mR of ammonium sulfate, it is amount of nitrogen present in the ammonium sulfate into 500. So this will be equal to 105 gram. So X contained 281 gram of nitrogen overall. Now let's calculate, let's check Y. So this is the Y contains 700 gram of ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate has 28 nitrogen divided by 80. 80 is the MR of ammonium nitrate into 700. This will contain 245 gram of nitrogen, while calcium sulfate, uh, as calcium sulfate has no nitrogen, so mass of nitrogen in this compound is 0. Now let's check the sulfur. Ammonium nitrate in X, ammonium nitrate containing no sulfur, so ammonium sulfate containing sulfur, so mass of sulfur is equal to 32 over 132 into 500. This will be equal to 121 gram. Amount of sulfur is 121 gram in X, while amount of sulfur in Y is ammonium nitrate no sulfur, because sulfur is absent in ammonium nitrate, and in calcium sulfate 32 over 136 into 300, this is equal to 70.5 gram. So if we compare, X contain 121 gram sulfur, Y contain 70.5 gram of sulfur, and X contain 281 gram nitrogen, while Y contain 245 gram of nitrogen. So the fertilizers with higher percentage of N is X, and fertilizer with higher percentage of sulfur is X. So X in both, X has higher percentage of nitrogen, this is nitrogen, and this is amount of this is amount of sulfur in X, and this is amount of nitrogen in X. 281 gram nitrogen is higher, while in X 121 gram of sulfur is higher. So A option is correct option. Question number 23, which process occur in the manufacture of sulfuric acid? Burning in sulfur in air is correct. Dissolving of sulfur dioxide in sulfuric acid is not correct, because sulfur react with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide plus oxygen, reversible reaction, sulfur trioxide, and sulfur trioxide react with sulfuric acid to form oleum, H2S2O7, and H2S2O7 diluted with water to form sulfuric acid. These are the 5 reactions of making sulfuric acid. So dissolving sulfur dioxide in sulfuric acid is correct. Not correct. Sulfur trioxide dissolving in sulfuric acid is correct option. Dissolving sulfur dioxide in water is not correct. Reacting sulfur dioxide with air is correct. So 1 and 4 is correct. C option must be correct. Lump of element X can be cut by a knife during reaction with water. X floats and melts. What is X? Group 1 metal cut with knife, group 1 metals. So this is property of group 1 metal, and first 3 metals float, 3 metal floats, while rest 3 metals of group 1 sink. So calcium is not group 1, copper is not group 1 metal, magnesium is not, potassium is group 1 metal, so D must be correct. Question number 25, chlorine is passed into separate samples of aqueous potassium iodide and aqueous bromide. Chlorine is most reactive than iodine and aqueous bromine. So In which solution is there a color change? In both solutions the color will be changed because chlorine can displace iodine from potassium iodide and bromine from the potassium bromide. So A must be correct. Yes, A must be correct. 26. Which diagram shows the structure of an alloy? A is the best option because in alloy elements are not arranged regularly and atomic radii of all atoms are not equal. So this is graphite, this is metal structure, this is sodium chloride cube. So A is correct option. Which element can only be extracted from its ore by using electrolysis? Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. So these metals can only be extracted from its ore by electrolysis. So which element can only be extracted from its ore by using electrolysis? So calcium is the correct option. Copper oxide can be extracted by reacting with carbon and hydrogen to form copper plus carbon monoxide, and with hydrogen, copper and water. So this is incorrect. Lead also the same, PbO plus carbon because carbon placed over here, and lower metals below than carbon, zinc, iron and lead, hydrogen over here, copper, Hg and Ag. Lower metals are extracted from its oxides by heating with carbon or by passing stream of hydrogen. Copper can be displaced from its ore by passing stream of hydrogen gas over red hot copper. So lead and silver are incorrect. Which equation shows a thermal decomposition that occur in blast furnace? Thermal decomposition. Carbon plus, this is redox reaction. This is also redox because carbon is oxidized in this case. Carbon dioxide is reduced in this case. Carbon is oxidized. This is also redox. This is thermal decomposition. And this is acid base reaction. So C is correct option. Question number 29. Which diagram correctly shows the conditions necessary for the rusting of iron and also the metal that can be used to prevent sacrificial rusting by sacrificial protection? Magnesium is used for sacrificial protection, and conditions water and air. So oxygen only, not correct. Copper not, oxygen and water, copper not, magnesium correct. So D option is correct. Question number 30. Aluminium is produced by the electrolysis of pure aluminium oxide. One of the electrodes in process has to be replaced often. Which statement is correct? The product at the anode reacts with the anode. Yes, the products of the anode is oxygen, which react with anode like carbon plus oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So A is correct option. Question number 31. Which row correctly compares with carbon dioxide and methane? Carbon dioxide, both compare carbon dioxide and methane. Both contain carbon, yes, correct. Both are described as greenhouse gas, this is also correct. Both lowers the pH of water when they dissolve in it. Yes, methane and carbon dioxide lowers the pH. Carbon dioxide lowers the pH. Methane also formed by the decomposition of water when they dissolves in it. Yes, this is also correct. A must be correct option. So this is not the case. Question of both contain carbon is correct. Both are described as a greenhouse, not correct. So this is both lowers the pH of water when they dissolve in it. This is not correct. So carbon dioxide lowers the pH while methane is neutral gas. So that is not. So B, both contain carbon, both are described as yes greenhouse gas, and both lowers the both do not lowers the pH of water when they dissolve in it. This is correct. B option is correct. Question number 32. Sea water has to be purified in order to obtain drinking water from it. Which processes are used to purify the sea water? Fractional distillation and fractional distillation by using fractional distillation and by using uh, fractional sea water, obtain drinking water from it. This is not correct. Fractional distillation, this is desalination. Desalination is used, but fractional distillation does not used. So this is correct. C must be correct option. Question number 34. Which structure represents an isomer of butane? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not correct, not correct. This is isomer of butane. 2-methyl propane. This must be correct. This is not correct because formula is C4H8 and butane is C4H10. So this is an isomer of butane. Question number 34. Which structure about the organic compound CH4, C2H4, C2H6 and C3H6 is correct? CH4 is methane, C2H4 ethene, C2H6 ethane, methane and propane. C2H4, C2H6 decolorized, no. They are all saturated, no. They are all unsaturated. They are all hydrocarbons. The alkanes are homologous series. Which statement about alkane is correct? An alkane molecule contains 4 fewer hydrogen atoms than an alkane molecule with the same number of carbon atoms. No, this is not correct. If a food is described as polyunsaturated, it means that it contains polymer, not polymer mean many molecules and polyunsaturated mean hydrocarbon contain many double bond. So this is incorrect. Propene reacts with steam to form propanol. Yes, this is correct option. CnH2n plus 2 is not the general formula for alkane. Question number 36. Which organic compound is used as a solvent, a renewable fuel and in the production of vinegar? Renewable fuel. Ethanoic acid is not a renewable and as a solvent. Ethanol is renewable fuel and used as a solvent. B is correct option. Question number 37. Which structure shows the carboxylic acid with the lowest relative molecular mass? Lowest relative molecular mass 12, plus 32 plus 2, 12 into 2 plus 1 2 3 4, 4 plus 16 into 2, 12. This is not carboxylic acid. This is incorrect. This is diol. This is also incorrect. So carboxylic acid, first two compounds that are carboxylic acid, and in A only one carbon is there, in B there are two carbon there, so A must be correct option. So A has lower MR. 434 plus 12, 46, and this 24 plus 4, 28, 24 plus 4 plus 32, 28, 28, 32, 60. So MR of this is 60. So A is correct option. Question number 38. Sorry. What is the name of the ester shown? 1, 2, 3. Beef back. O is alcohol part, and it is converted into 1, 2, 3 propyl, and C double bond O back part is carboxylic, and over here 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon, so this is butanoate. The formula is propyl butanoate. B option is correct. Question number 39. The diagram shows the structure of a monomer. Which diagram shows the partial structure of its polymer? So this is incorrect because HH, another, this is the structure of modified form of CH3. So CH3F not correct because CH3, the carbon is attached with CH3 and F. This is incorrect. CH3H is also incorrect. F and Cl are Cl and H, Cl and H, and CH3 and F, CH3 and F. This must be correct option because this is monomer and this is polymer, because 1 unit, 2 unit and 3 unit. So D is the correct option. Which statement about polymer is correct? Nylon and terylene are produced by addition polymer, not addition, condensation. Nylon and terylene both contain amide linkage, no terylene ester linkage. Simple sugars are produced by hydrolyzing protein, no hydrolyzing starch. Starch contains the element carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So D is correct option. So this is all about. If you like this video, please subscribe, share and